Ah, yes, good to see you. Hope you're all fine and dandy. Just been teasing Joe. Joe's the brains behind it all, a technical wizard that makes it happen. I said, Joe, if I was sick one night, would you take over? He said no. He did not respond to the wind up. I was thinking he could teach you guys some video games and maybe a bit of maths and physics. Now he's not up for it, so I will keep healthy. Ah, Yvonne Finney's in town. Brilliant. And Midge is there. And Claire, the Essex girls in the house. I'm looking forward to one Essex girl in particular tonight. All right, I'll stop teasing you. Helen Watson. Helen Watson is in the virtual house. Ah, fantastic. Now, you'll all go to lockdown heaven if there is one, because you guys are so wonderful. And the lovely comments you give us, they just brighten our day and make us smile, or give us something to get up in the morning for. It's brilliant. And they're pouring in. Big thanks to Brenda, and she had a wonderful suggestion. A whole CD of relaxing shakuhachi, the bamboo Japanese flute, which will probably make an appearance tomorrow. A whole CD of that for getting dogs to sleep, because apparently her poodles, Mitzi and Trini, three of them, and Susanna, they all fall asleep as soon as I play it. Is that a good thing? Must be. And it is supposed to be, I read it in the shakuhachi manual, which I purchased, that it's supposed to be good for getting infants to sleep. I've never really tried that theory out. I keep meaning to. I play to the hens sometimes. It just confuses them. They'll go like that. Like that. Well, I'll tease you a little bit for what's coming next. So we'll start off with a Junior Walker piece. This one is called Cleo's Mood, but I think tonight it should be Cleo's Mood. In fact, it is. It's transformed. It's Cleo's Mood. Yeah. Come on, let's have it. And they fade into the distance. Oh, love a bit of Junior Walker. Clears mood. And thank you, Ron and Liz, benefactors from Devon, and PJ as well. Thank you, guys and girls. Oh, and I had the chart. That's what we call our pieces of music. Instead of it being on a scrappy piece of paper, like most things are, it was on Adobe. So I want to close that down now, because the less programs I have open, the better. That's what Joe told me. When I had some syncing problems the other night, syncing feelings, he said, "You got too much open on your laptop." So there, I've done that. Happy days. So, I can't wait any longer. I want to see if we can magically connect with Helen. And now, when we rehearsed earlier on, it didn't go so well this end. I tried to do it without Joe, and Helen was on her side, which would have been fine if you were lying on the couch with a G&T, I suppose. Except I wasn't on my side, but Helen was on her side, which she didn't mean to be. So we got her turned round. And my camera, my end, went all sort of fish-eyed and weird, and I was squished up in the middle with black bits either side. And I tried to sort it out myself, and I couldn't, so I had to go to the house and get Joe, and he came down and he sorted it out. And I said, I'm always absolutely in awe. I said, "How did you do that? How did you manage to do that?" He said, "Pressed a couple of buttons and used my common sense." So I was told in no uncertain circumstances, but that's fine with me. Musicians don't have much common sense, so I do the music, and he presses the buttons and uses his common sense. It works well, that arrangement. So when we rehearsed, Helen said that for tonight she would wear, because I'm in one of Sally's shirts, but she's got a Sally shirt as well, what Sally designed and made for her, and she said she'd wear it. So I've got this big build-up now, and I hope that we can make the technology work. Miss Helen Watson, my favourite Essex girl. Are you there? Are you in the house? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, let's see. And the tune we rehearsed is called "I Told You I Loved You, Now Get Out," I think. Yay!
Hello everybody, Snakey, everybody, Sally, look at me. Well, told you I loved you, now get out. I told you I loved you, now get out. Everything's rosy, everything's changed. Just how much can a good girl take? I told you I loved you, now get out. There may be times when I want you, baby, there's no doubt. Right now, honey, you something I can really do without. Go on and leave your number, going home. Don't sit with sandwiches by the phone. I told you I love you, now get out. Whoa, baby, please leave me be. You know that you are the puppet, and I ain't got no strings on me. Don't get out, you can leave on the 518. Oh honey, now don't go saying I've been mean. You know that you're letting take you away. I got a round trip ticket that's for 60 days. I told you I love you, now get out.
Oh, Helen, thank you so much. And we're both dressed by Sally. That's fantastic. Oh, I love that. So I've got this kind of dream plan. Didn't actually ask Helen about it, but I think she's gone now. But, well, I'll tell you when I have started. I thought, well, if we rehearsed another couple, perhaps we could have a Helen evening and just do Helen and Snakey songs and chat a bit more and tell some tales. And that might be fun. Well, it would be fun. Told you I loved you. Now get out. So, I don't need to say it anymore because you all know and love Helen as much as we do, I think. But just in case you've just tuned in from Mexico, Helen Watson is part of Daphne's Flight, as well as touring with me and Dave Bowie as Burden of Paradise. And so if you typed in Helen Watson, Daphne's Flight, turn the microphones off, you would find Helen on the interweb and be able to love her even more and discover more of her music. What a singer she is. She's my dad's favourite singer as well. And I know why. Absolutely wonderful. So, any birthday lockdown chickadees out there? Apart from Ginny! Happy birthday, Ginny. Happy lockdown birthday. Ginny's a bit ambivalent about the whole going back to school thing, I think. Well, I know she is. I mean, what she says is it wasn't very healthy going to school even before all this trouble. It was already bad for your health. That's what she maintains. Only kidding. A bit. Happy birthday. And anybody else who has a lockdown birthday coming up or just had. A lot of birthdays at the moment. A Helen evening, yeah, it would be. Go on then. Shirts are so difficult to make. I've never tried, but flipping it looks fiendishly difficult. Yeah. And Sally's apologetic for not having made me a new shirt recently, but she's been busy making masks. And she promises there are more shirts in the pipeline, and maybe for Helen too. That would be good. So if we had a Snakey and Helen evening, we could do some costume changes, maybe. Loads of fun. Who's here? Anybody who's anybody's here. And the birthday girl. Fantastic. Marvellous. Ian Thompson. Music going down with a glass of wine, yeah. I'm not sure if I've experienced, and I probably said it wrong, but it sounds very cultured and lovely. Oh, yep, Chris Gomley. Flipping. What, are you claiming to have more common sense than most musicians, mate? Chris is a saxophone player from Stafford, very fine musician too. He was at one point professor of saxophone at Birmingham Music Conservatoire. Maybe he still is. Perhaps he will be again when it's unlocked. I don't know. We speak from time to time, but we don't see each other. None of us see each other except over the internet. But thank goodness for the internet. Yeah. Oh, happy 61st then, Lynn. On Thursday. You don't look it, though. Right. More music. Junior Walker. I'm sure you've all heard of him. Junior Walker is one of my absolute heroes. People think because you play the saxophone that you're into jazz. And I quite like jazz from time to time, and I like the challenge of playing a bit of jazz, and there's some great material and obviously fantastic musicians and challenges to be had, but I'm a soul boy. I love soul music and things with strong melodies in, and I know jazz has strong melodies. I'm more of a soul boy before I dig myself into a very deep hole. And growing up and coming to know and love and study the saxophone, my real heroes were King Curtis, Junior Walker, Maceo Parker, Grover Washington, Michael Brecker, David Sanborn. all sort of soul influenced and like a lyrical style. And Junior Walker, he just sings through that thing, man, doesn't he? And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. He's born in 1931 in Arkansas and grew up in Indiana. And remember, his band was Junior Walker and the All Stars. I think they got renamed when the first real, I mean, he did sing, but he was obviously known for his saxophone. I think possibly the only instrumentalist, if we can call him that, to be signed to Motown Records. He was signed in 1964. And it's known for a Junior Walker gig would be a good party night with lots of uplifting rhythm and blues, bouncy, joyous stuff. In fact, I had it written down, so I can't find it now, but he had a quote and that he described his music as a joyful noise. And that's great. That's a great quote. I'd be happy to read that in a review. Snakey made a joyful noise. That would do me. Never mind about going on about influences and all that kind of thing. And well, we'll have another Junior Walker tune and then perhaps chat a bit more about this and that and the other and Junior and life in general and getting poodles to sleep. So now I thought I would attempt, got more sheets of paper for this, Shotgun, which was the first record he released on Motown, and it shot into the Billboard charts in a big way and became known and loved forevermore. So that was, I guess that was mid-60s. It would have been mid-60s. So he sings really high, so I have to sing his bits to make it work. I'm going to sing him down the octave. I'm going to sound growly, man, but you know, it's all about the saxophone. And you'll be singing along, I hope. Right, now I need to kind of organise this because as soon as I press go, I'm in. Right. That's one thing I'm going to do next week. Move my mixing desk so that it's near where my arms are. Instead of going like that. Slowly, slowly. Catchy monkey with a banana. Right, so what do I need? Less level on here. Little bit of reverb to make me sound slightly less crap. And this, yeah, I know what I need. Yes. Yes. Red dress, and then you go downtown. I said you buy yourself a shotgun now. We're gonna break it down, baby. We're gonna load it up, baby, now. And then you shoot it before it runs now. I said shotgun, shoot before it runs now. We're going down here to listen to play the blues. We're gonna dig potatoes. We're gonna pick tomatoes. I said shotgun, shoot 'em before he runs out. Do the jerk, baby. Do the jerk now. Hey. I said it's prime time. I said it's prime time. I said it's prime time. What the hell for? Yeah, we did it. Yeah, I did it, even though my words fell off. I had them bounced on the computer. And they fell off, but I recovered. I regrouped. Oh, what a song though, eh? What a tune. What a vibe, what a groove. Ooh. Ooh, missus. So good. I was thinking the other day when I sort of tramped down to the studio to start my practice in the morning, and sometimes people will say to Mrs. Snake that they say, "Oh, it must be lovely living with him because all those lovely melodies echoing around the house." And she just rolls her eyes and gives thanks that I'm down the garden with double soundproofing in place, because the morning sounds are not melodious at all. That's when we do the graft and all the Chris Gumley will know about this. I just play long notes, and long notes getting louder and quieter, and then long notes in octaves, and it's boring and pretty tedious. And even though I've got, not for me it's not, but for anybody else that might be listening, they'll be going, what the? And even though I've got, double windows and double doors, it's flipping loud, and the sound, somehow it manages to find the little cracks and crevices and sneaks out. But I've got wonderful neighbours. Or maybe they're deaf. No, they're wonderful neighbours. It hasn't always been that way, and it's tough, Quite often I get asked the question, is there anything I can do to sort of turn it down a bit and stop annoying the neighbours? And it's hard, there's all kinds of little nests. You can build a nest in the corner with. I have to do it when I'm in hotels, out of duvets and pillows and blankets, and sometimes if I always ask for a hotel room that's on the end of the corridor next to the service lift, and then if I'm lucky, sometimes they have. Well, they're not exactly walk-in wardrobes, but they're big enough to slither into. I had a photo somewhere, but Joe, he showed me how to do this. See if I can do it, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's me in the wardrobe in Tokyo. I thought seeing as I was showing that picture, I'd show you a typical snaky breakfast with the broccoli in. And, every now and again when we're strolling around big cities in Japan, we suddenly see our boss. There he is, up on a billboard, advertising beer. It's always a bit of a scare. And there's a Japanese heron. And there's one of my favourite temple gardens. And now I'll stop showing you my holiday pics. Oh yeah, one more. One of you guys sent me, Helen Robinson sent me this. Because we were on about using musical instruments for different purposes, because Joe said I get more listeners, more viewers, more subscribers to the channel if I did weird things with the sax instead of just playing music on it. And so Helen sent me this, which is a guitar, which has got a robin nesting in it. It's been made part of the garden. You can't actually see the robin, but you can see its nest there. I think that's so wonderful. And now I'll stop showing you my holiday photos. Sorry. Yeah. sometimes I practice under bridges, things like that. I had a picture of me practicing under a bridge, but I couldn't find it. But I promise you it's true. I'm not the only musician ever to have practiced under a bridge or on a bridge. Sonny Rollins, amazing New York tenor player, famously practiced on Manhattan Bridge hours a day, every day for a long time, long period of his life. Because if you can imagine practicing on the Humber Bridge, for example, which is that's my nearest bridge, and it's such a roar of traffic that you're not going to be disturbing anybody with your sound, your joyful noise. So it'd be cool, and I think the passers-by would be amused rather than annoyed, as you're still not as loud as the trucks. So if things get bad, if Sally chucks me out or the studio burns down or anything, I'm going to practice on the Humber Bridge. That's a gloomy thought. That's not going to happen. I hope not, anyway. And I wonder sometimes how I ended up being a soul sax player, and because I grew up in sort of quite a hard-necked dock town in South Wales, Newport, but wasn't exactly a ghetto or anything, and I suppose it was fairly middle class. Seems a horrible thing to say, but shouldn't class people, should it? But I guess it was. We weren't struggling or anything. So how did I come to be But I think I grew up in I suppose it was very late 60s, early to mid 70s, when I was starting to go out dancing and listening to music. And it was soul, it was Motown, it was Stax, it was Atlantic. That was what I loved more than anything. And my formative years, and I loved melodies, I loved singing, I loved soul music. And that was about it, really. Girls as well. And then beer. Time for another tune, maybe. Some more Junior Walker. What's next on my list? Oh, yeah, you'll know this one. I have played this one before. And you'll be singing along. And I know that some of you are dancing because you tell me that just don't spill the red wine on the carpet, because it's a nightmare, isn't it? Yeah. Well, what do I need for this? Same kind of plot as before. Just gotta know, oh baby, 'cause I love you so, I'm gonna blow. See how much I love you. I thought you understood. I just gotta make you see. What would it take to win your love for me? I'm gonna blow. does it take to win your love? For me, what are you guys saying? Busking on the Humber Bridge. You've done it before, Jeff. You didn't make much money, I don't suppose. Oh, no. I'm putting you down. I expect you made loads of money. I wasn't thinking about you could monetize it. That would be the best of both worlds, wouldn't it? Go out and practice on the Humber Bridge, but not the morning stuff, not the boring long notes. Playing a few tunes, get the hat out. Hello, Nikki. Francis Franklin, good evening. Thumbs up for a Helen evening. Excellent. You're all there. You're behaving yourselves. You're having a good time. The Bridge of Sighs in Venice. A sigh is a great sound. That sounds like a haiku. Bridge of Sighs. It's not, but oh, it's Mick Day from over the field. Hello, Mick. Bridge of Sighs in. I've never been there. I don't think. But it sounds beautiful. I've been to Venice, but there's loads of bridges in Venice, isn't there? But they're a bit crowded. A lot of them. Playing at Southport, Merseyside, yeah, Southport Jazz Festival. That jazz word again. We played the Southport Jazz Festival. We didn't play jazz, but we didn't get marched out of town. That was good. Yeah. Oh, this is a long one. Ropery Hall, Barton. You're hoping it's not suffering financially. Me too. And we need it. Yeah, exactly. We need it open. And Helen needs to come and play it because it's one of our favourites. Me and Helen love playing there. And yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we better not get started on all that. I think all will be revealed. I mean, we're coming up, us musicians and promoters are coming up with loads of different scenarios. Like, well, I suppose they're obvious, aren't they? Like, we play at places like the Ropery, but like London Transport, we only allow it to be 15% full. And you come in one door and you go out the other door. And then I thought maybe if we did 3 shows a night, then at least we'd get more people in. But anyway, look, we don't need to think about that now. Boris will tell us what to do. Oh, shut up, Snaky. Rick Davis, his neighbours are getting fed up and never let us slip away and waiting for a star to fall already. I wish I hadn't sent you those charts, mate, because I'll be getting hate mail. Oh, Yvonne, don't encourage me. I'll get more photos out. Yeah. This is like busking in a way, isn't it? I play and some of you throw things into my tip jar. Very high quality audience for a busker, though. Ah, Yvonne, thank you. Now John Morton, you mentioned an Average White Band tune. Well, I did. I started rehearsing that Pick Up the Pieces tonight, thinking I might do it. I mean, this afternoon. But I decided to stick with the Junior Walker theme and and now the traditional Do We Love You ending. But maybe next Saturday night. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I'd like to do that. So we're on the same wavelength, even though we're under different rules now, being different sides of Hadrian's Wall. I'm allowed to do loads of things that you're not, but you're safer than me. Is that right? My kids will have to go back to school and yours won't. I don't know. Oh, somebody's phoning me. They'll have to wait. Whoever phoned me obviously doesn't know about these streaming shows. I need to tell her. They're still calling me. How do I stop that? That's something for the future. Working out how to stop calls and keep your text coming from the command center in the house. That's the only reason I leave the phone on. Sally tells me if I'm doing awful things or if I'm distorting. And Joe tells me if I'm out of sync or if I pressed the wrong button. I know what I'll do. I'll depart very slightly from the Junior theme, although I think he did this tune, but I'm not playing his version because I don't know it. I'm just going to busk my way through my own version. It's the Night Train. I haven't played it for weeks, and I know you guys love it. The Night Train. It's hard work playing on your own because you don't get those little breaks for when the other musicians are doing their showy offy bits and you can have a drink. Cheers. Are you talking about St. James? Oh yeah. That would be a good place for a physically distanced audience because it's so massive. I did have a gig booked in there which has been cancelled. That was going to be in June, but we're hoping it'll be next June. Next year's going to be busier when we open up again. Bit of a Sade thing going on there. Now I didn't think, but my daughter Letty, she was threatening to learn a song and virtually jam with me, and she might pick a Sade one, I think. So watch this space. It's all happening, or it all will be, based on Duke Ellington's Happy Go Lucky Loco. I did know that, but I'd forgotten. Duke Ellington, what a band that was. Just the way you are, Billy Joel. Yeah. Old Mick Day, he's very vocal the other side of the field. You might as well just send me a paper aeroplane, mate. The breathiness. Yeah. It's because I'm out of breath. Happy days. Very happy days. Ginny's birthday days. Happy birthday to you, Ginny. Yeah. Oh, a couple of haikus. I don't know if you were with me last night. I know some of you were. And my chief staff haiku writer, Mr. Val Schultz, of Nottinghamshire. He sent me a string of them. I think there were 5. And in the middle, he'd put a sentence describing one of them. And I copied and cut and pasted them. And then when I came to try and read them last night, the sentence explaining the one about the devastation to the garden was all mixed up. And I tried and failed, and then I tried again. Like that spider. And Jack the Bruce, or whatever his name was. Jack Bruce, no, Robert the Bruce. But I failed. I think I got one out, so I'm going to do them now. Because I've sorted them right out. So the one about the garden, because it was I don't know where you guys were, but safely at home, I hope. But anyway, in Nottinghamshire, there was a nasty frost one day last week, and damage ensued. So Val took his quill out and wrote this. Garden keeps us sane. Jack Frost spoils our sanity. Plants suffer damage. Heartfelt. And then he had one on the subject of climate change, really. And maybe what we're going through now. Nothing stays the same. Climate change is here to stay. Mankind to adapt. Yeah, he was in a serious mood after his plants got trashed. And then one, which is on the subject of, he's on a roll, this boy. One which is on the subject of the pandemic. And perhaps the recent confusion, is it fair enough to use that word? Clarity missing. Society in confusion. Will unrest follow? Deep, 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 deep. And then today, he wrote me a haiku, brought us a haiku, about me getting the haikus wrong. And this is it. From chaos comes calm. Snake the true professional, order soon restored. It's hard to read that without laughing. You're too kind, Val. I don't know about that. I don't know about the true professional bit. I'm just a busking, jobbing muso, man. And I had one from Joe Preston, but I flipping lost it. Where did it go? I wrote it down, I know I did. I will have to have it tomorrow. Yeah, I can't remember it. It was right long. Nah, it's gone. Well, it hasn't gone, but it's temporary. It's temporarily disappeared. So I'll have that one tomorrow. Couple more songs before you put your bicycle clips on and take to the road home. When I finish, I sort of pack away here, and then I go to the house, which is all of about 80 steps. I say, "Hi guys, I'm home." And they go, usually. I don't know. Got no common sense. I'm just a unprofessional musician. So let's have the last Junior Walker one of the night. And this is one I love doing. I could do it quite often. I do it with Helen in Burden of Paradise, or whatever we're called. How sweet it is to be loved by you. This version is it's me and the boys, Birchie and the boys, from recording that Phil Udall made in Durham, I think. I've been raiding the vaults and remixing songs without me, so I can play along with them here while the boys are unable to visit me, in case I give them some, or they give me some. Right, I'll make my adjustments, and you will sing along, won't you? No, you will. We're ready. with me? Yeah. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I needed the shelter of someone's arms, and there you were. Needed somewhere to understand my ups and downs, and there you were. It's love and devotion, deeply touching my emotions. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. Come on, come on, come on. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Ooh, yeah, yeah. How sweet it is to be loved by you. You're dancing around the lounge. Last night, wondering where would I be without you in my life. Every day was just a bore. Seems like the things I did I've done before, because you brought up all of my days with a love so sweet in so many ways. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Ooh, yeah. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Is this another chorus? Yeah. Your turn, come on. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Give me more, give me more. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Ooh, yeah. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Let's wrap it up a little bit. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Yeah, boss. How sweet it is. Yeah, dear on Phil's. Yeah, 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 yeah. To be loved by you. Yeah, yeah. Go on, Mr. Bertram. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How sweet it is. Sweet indeed. Oh, man. Great song. Been playing that for, I don't know, 20 years. I never get fed up of it. It's such a great song. Guys. 168 in the Zen Den. 168 what? Anyway. Even my wife is singing along. That's a bit wifist. Oh, Kevin, yeah, I know your wife. Sally's absolutely banned me from any mother-in-law jokes. That's all that matters. If this has made you smile, then it's a flipping result. Oh, Helen's dad is here. So the grandfather of the Robin in the happy birthday for yesterday, Dad. 81 and still dancing to Snakey's music, I'm sure. Massive thanks to young Joe. You know, I joke about him, but not much, because he's absolutely, I couldn't make this happen without him, and Sally too. She's the one with the common sense and the design sense and the sense, really. Couldn't have done it without those two, Sally and Joe. Sulky and Super Joe. Oh, Rick Davis he's a fellow flipping Junior Walker fan, that's why. Well, it's one of the reasons why. So here we are in the Zen Den, Heionji, Temple of Peace and Calm, celebrating Ginny's birthday and Staichi's soon-to-be full recovery. Come on, Staichi. Come on, mate. Get your butt back into the village. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. Spread the word. Like, thumbs up, subscribe. Friends and family. Tell them. That's so much more valuable than tweets and Twitters and face pads and all that. Hope to see you guys tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock for a lovely chilled session. And the wonderful Gareth Moulton joins me. Another angelic voice. And it'll be great to see him. He's been having a tough time. So I'm really looking forward to making some music with him again. And that's it, really. Stella says we need to play Do We Love You instead of Do I Love You for the frontline workers, the care workers, the people who supply us with food and keep the buses running, all those amazing heroes. And I agree with her. So you guys must know this as well as me now. So I'll say goodnight before I go. And before you go. Go steady. Oh, and saxophone players, no fun for you, because 11 o'clock in the morning I need you here for the saxophone workshop / clinic. But the good news is it's a real fun one tomorrow. I've been making you work hard, you sax players. But tomorrow is a fun one where we get to do some lovely soloing and express ourselves. So looking forward to that. Oh, you're talking about food, blue cheese and red wine and right. I'm going to ignore that. It's making me hungry. Do we love you? Do we love them? So it's Do I Love You, but we sing Do We Love You. Okay? Indeed we do. On bending knees, I lay my heart down at your feet now. I love you. All you have to do is ask how good until there's nothing left now. I love you. As long as there is life in me, your happiness is guaranteed. I fill your heart with ecstasy forever, darling. Do I love you? Are you dancing? Do we love you? Do we love you? Indeed we do. The very thing that I love most is just to have and hold you close. I love you. Early morning till late at night, I fill your heart with pure delight. And do I love you? Whenever I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord your soul to keep and bring it on home safe to me forever. Darling, do we love you? Do we love you? Do we love you? Indeed we do, yeah. Return home safe to me forever. Darling, now do we love you? Do we love you? Do we love you? Did we do? Yeah. Did we do? Ginny and Slatchy and all you guys. Do we love you? Do we love you? Yeah. Do we love you? Did we do? Yeah. Did we do? Yeah. So energetic, the music, isn't it? Old Junior Walker, he used to play on his back and walk along the bar playing and all that kind of thing. And I would play on my back, but I'd go out of view. So that's the only reason I haven't done the show on my back. We've had fun. Thank you so much for being here. Really hope to see you tomorrow. If not, then next Friday, 7 o'clock, that'll do. See you then. And be kind to each other. Take care. Take care of each other. See ya.